So the latest budget dropped something pretty interesting. The government has quietly opened up this door, you could say, for anyone with foreign assets. It's a 6-month window, a real opportunity that could be a total game changer for a lot of people. So what exactly is this new relief scheme? And, the big question is it actually for you?
I mean, think about it for a second. Maybe you studied overseas and you just left a bank account open with a tiny balance. Or what about this? Your company gave you stock options, right? Like RSUs or ESOPs, and trying to figure out how to report them felt like you were trying to solve a puzzle in the dark. These are super common situations that can easily and completely unintentionally lead to mistakes on your tax filings.
And that's exactly why this new scheme is such a big deal. For a limited 6-month period, there's a straightforward path to fix those past oversights. And the best part? You can do it without staring down the barrel of huge penalties or even worse, prosecution. It's basically an official window to get all your ducks in a row.
Okay, so before we dive into all the nitty-gritty details, the first massive question we have to answer is, who can actually use this? Who is this for? Let's take a look at the specific people the government is really trying to reach with this relief.
When you look at who's eligible, it's actually surprisingly broad. This isn't just for some super high net worth folks. We're talking about everyday situations. Students who might have totally forgotten about a foreign account, employees at big companies with stock plans, or even NRIs who've come back to India and have some investments still sitting abroad. Get this, it even covers people who are non-resident right now, but were resident back when they got the asset. It's really designed to catch a whole bunch of common, real-life scenarios.
All right, so let's say you check the box. You're eligible. Great. Now what? What can you actually disclose? What really counts as a foreign asset as far as this scheme is concerned?
Okay, this definition is everything. The government is basically looking at two main things here. First, any assets you got while you were a non-resident. But second, and this is so important, it's about assets you bought with money you already paid tax on, but you just messed up reporting it in the right schedule on your tax return. This little difference is absolutely crucial because it's going to decide which of the two paths you go down.
And that brings us right to the heart of the whole scheme. See, this isn't some one-size-fits-all deal. Nope. The government's created two very different pathways for disclosure, and it all depends on what kind of mistake you made. Let's break down how they work.
The whole thing really boils down to understanding the difference between Category A and Category B. Category A is what they're calling complete non-disclosure. This is for assets up to 1 crore rupees that were just never declared. Think undeclared income. But Category B, that's for a reporting error. This covers assets up to a much higher 5 crore rupees that you bought with tax money, but you just reported it wrong. And believe me, the way they're treated is worlds apart.
Okay, if you fall into Category A, the price is, well, it's steep. You're looking at a 30% tax on the asset's value, plus another 30%. That's basically a penalty. That's a grand total of 60%.
Now, hold on. Compare that 60% to Category B. If your only issue is a simple reporting mistake on an asset you bought with taxed income, the solution is totally different. It's a flat, one-time fee of just 1 lakh rupees. That's it. This really shows you that the government is trying to draw a clear line between tax evasion and just honest procedural mistakes.
So you might be asking yourself, all right, why would I go through all this trouble? What's the actual benefit here? What's the relief you get for coming forward and getting this sorted?
The benefits are, well, they're huge. First, you get immunity from penalties and prosecution under some pretty serious laws, like the Black Money Act. Second, the tax department can't come back later and reopen your case for that same asset. And third, for that Category B situation, that 1 lakh rupee fee, it covers all the years you missed reporting it. It's a true clean slate.
Let's just pause on this one for a second, because this is the main event. The peace of mind, the relief that comes from knowing you're completely clear of any potential legal trouble, that is arguably the single biggest reason this whole scheme exists. It's a really powerful incentive to come forward. And, as you can see right here in the source material, the entire framework is built around these two different pathways. It's an acknowledgement that not all mistakes are the same, and it gives a tailored solution, whether your situation was a total non-disclosure or just a simple reporting error. So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one question. You now know who's eligible, what you can disclose, the different paths you can take, and what the real benefits are. The only question left to answer is this 6-month window the right opportunity for you to simplify your financial life and get everything in order?